I power walked down to that pile of gummy bears and back. I should probably set the pile out further, or closer, so I can get at them.
Hey, what's up, pups? Welcome to another episode of the Power Up Podcast. It's a show that tackles the pop culture. We take a look at what's happening, whether that's good news, bad news, ugly news, maybe even some spiritual news. I always like to try to throw in some biblical knowledge whenever I can. It is Wednesday. Man, I am tired. I will tell you what. But we've got some interesting news that I'd like to look over here. The big one being everyone is talking about Dragon Age, the Veilguard. Some footage was shown and is online, and they are desperately trying to hide it, but it just shows on how cringe the woke virtue signaling in this scene is quite retarded. We've got the Concord studio, Firewalk studio has been officially shut down. RIP. So much potential. And then, of course, we've got some other news that caught my eye. Apparently, there's more information, more so responses on the Vatican's new anime mascot, Luce, I believe is her name. And then we've got some other articles pulled up here as well. If you're new to the show and you enjoy it, make sure to hit that subscribe button, punch the thumbs up, and ring the bell to get notified when I go live, whether that's this show, the Power Up Podcast, solo or with a guest. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 8 p.m. Central Time / 9 Eastern Time. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays and the weekend, I do game streaming. Trying to finish up Blue Dragon. We are on the last boss, Destroy. So he's given us a little bit of a problem. So we're going to have to see if we can get that final blow in. Tomorrow is Halloween, so I might do a Halloween-themed base game. Right now, I am thinking Splatterhouse 2, because we did Splatterhouse, I believe, last year for Halloween. So maybe we'll go ahead and continue that, because why not? But if anybody else has any suggestions, just let me know. I've also played like Castlevania and stuff, but never beat Simon's Quest or 3. So who knows? Who knows? We'll definitely have to take a stab at it for sure. But let's hop into this. Thanks again. I'm humbled for anybody who wants to just hang out with me today. Really appreciate it. Thanks for help pushing the algorithm. And you can always check out the membership / subscription tiers over on YouTube and Rumble if you want to go beyond pushing the algorithm to help the channel grow. Well, bam. Coming from Tech for Gamers. Ubisoft, despite the delays and the rejection of their garbage game Shadows, apparently are confident that Shadows will indeed offer great quality, according to Tech for Gamers. It was pushed back a few months recently, as we all know if we're paying attention. After being built up as Ubisoft's biggest release of 2024, the game is now anticipated to perform even better in early 2025. X to doubt on that one. In fact, I will straight up call out lie. That's a lie. So discussing its expectation, the gaming giant has shared new details on Assassin's Creed Shadows. According to Ubisoft, the game is shaping up to meet fan expectations and deliver high-quality experience come release day. I don't believe that for a second, because the game was never made for fans. As we saw supposedly from inside sources that Endymion knows, they changed the character to Yasuke. It wasn't even, that dirty birdie wasn't even in their mind until, the BLM riots and the burning down of cities took place, to when, the killing of George Floyd. So based on that, that is when they changed it to Yasuke. And then, of course, we have Thomas Lockley, who just made one gigantic jack-off piece on how amazing he was, making up the majority of his findings because I forget who it is, but I believe a native Japanese YouTuber straight up went to the historical records over in Japan. Very little information about the guy. So the gaming giant has faced a major setback after placing similar faith in Star Wars Outlaws, and I hope it receives even more so in terms of failing, suggesting that extra care has been taken to ensure the same failures are not repeated again. I also saw articles from that Park Place actually mentioning that Ubisoft is like ignoring, like, hey, how's fixing Star Wars Outlaws going? Apparently they're like ignoring those questions that I took a quick glance at. So Ubisoft recently shared its earnings figures for the first of 2024-25. The earnings figures reiterate that Star Wars Outlaws failed to meet expectations while confirming that Shadow's delay came as a direct result of this disappointment. And then, as we know about the investor call, but apparently there's another one where the chief corporate finance officer confirmed that the latest Assassin's Creed entry was delayed for polishing. He also assured investors that the game would not be delayed any further. Elaborating, or it's the one that we've already read. Elaborating on the expectation of this release, I think it's a new one. Ubisoft pointed to a, quote, great experience and great quality. All in all, the team is quite confident. Well, the team may feel quite confident, but they shouldn't be, because people hate what you guys did with it. Like, it has spoken. Like, to the point where possibly the Japanese government could step involved because you guys don't care about representing Japan properly. You hid behind an unknown historical figure, very loosely historical figure in terms of what he actually, contributed to the world, I guess you could say. You did that, and then you hid behind this stupid, retarded excuse of, oh, we want to display Japan from a different person's eyes. Unlike all the other ones when you kind of created a character that could fit in that timeline, Said you went for an abnormality. Anomaly? Well, whatever. You know what I mean. Frederick Duget kind of closely rhymes with faggot. We have good visibility for the game to be delivered with great experience and great quality. Let's see if he'll change his tune once it's released. So during the same call, old Frederick up here confirmed that the delay cost around $20 million. Good, and it needs to keep going. I want this game. I want them to lose as much money as possible. A lot of people, like you saw that petition where they wanted to get it banned and whatnot, or not banned, canceled. As far as I'm concerned, keep that sucker going and make them bleed money. Make them bleed so much money that other companies around pull their heads that are super lodged up each other's assholes and realize that maybe we should just go back to making good games and stop catering to a bunch of weak weirdos who can't even tell, what gender they are. Therefore, it is clear that the studio has gone the extra mile to polish Assassin's Creed's first Japanese entry. That doesn't prove that they went to go the extra mile. That's the price of fucking up royally. That's what that means. Of course, they're going to try to spin it being like, we're happy that we delayed the game and now it cost $20 million. Only these retards would be delusional enough to think that, oh, we polished it up. There's $200 million? Yeah, that's just, polishing. It's like, all right, but you're polishing a turd. And at the end of the day, it's still a turd. Maybe if you were polishing like gold or something, that'd be different. For the unaware, Assassin's Creed Shadows has undergone many changes. The collector's edition is now cheaper. The game is heading to Steam on day one. And more. Well, perhaps this explains Ubisoft's newfound confidence. No, newfound confidence. I think it explains their desperation. Oh, please, please, guys, buy this game. We can't fuck up again. Are you still looking forward to the series' next major release? I wasn't even looking forward to it when it was first announced. Let us know in the comments. I'm not bashing on Tech for Gamers because they seem just like a good source of just giving you the news, but I think it's funny. Let me know what you guys think. You guys think old Ubisoft is gonna do the Lord's work when the polishing for Assassin's Creed Shadows is completed and released? I don't think so. So piggybacking off of that, from that Park Place, so that extra 200 million has been confirmed by Guillemot, the Ubisoft CEO. Confirmed as a company spending an additional 20 million on Assassin's Creed Shadow by delaying the game to February. This was announced back in September. It would delay the game to February 14th. Wrote in a press release, it will now be released 14th of February 2025. Valentine's Day, just enough to get your gay black man romantic relationships, apparently, that might happen in the game going. So as for why the company explained, while the game is feature complete, that might just be a bad translation if the guy speaks French or whatever. The learnings from the Star Wars Outlaws release led us to provide additional time to further polish this title. This will enable the biggest entry in the franchise to fully deliver on its ambition, notably by fulfilling the promise of our dual protagonist adventure with Naoe and Yasuke bringing two very different gameplay styles. Man, that is a lot of mental gymnastics to try to hide the fact that you guys screwed up. No one wanted to play as Yasuke. No one asked to play as Yasuke. And Star Wars Outlaws shows how much you guys do not care about whatever franchise you're bastardizing. Let's be real. A lot of games, just expect a lot of games nowadays until the weeds get removed, a lot of remakes and stuff. Expect some sort of bastardizing to take place. Some of it will be more visible than others, like Dragon Age, for example. Others will be kind of hidden away, like Silent Hill. But be wary of it. Be wary of it, because that's what they want. They're trying to find that right balance where they can insert a bunch of ideology, a bunch of wokeness, and whatnot, and hopefully it'll be hidden enough away to where, then the game will be successful. Example, Silent Hill 2, and then they can then later on point to that game, going, "Look, that game was woke." And it's like, no, just because you released a game that has a bunch of leeches on it, you don't be saying like the leeches is what made the game successful, Like, that's just retarded. In fact, removing the leeches would make it actually a lot better, and plus you wouldn't lose blood. Anyway, furthermore, the company revealed we are departing from the traditional season pass mode because, we're spending an extra 20 million. All players will be able to enjoy the game at the same time on February 14th, and those who pre-order the game will be granted the first expansion for free. The company concluded the game will mark the return of our new releases on Steam day one. So in an official post to the company's X account, Ubisoft's Kote elaborated, Assassin's Creed Shadow is a dream project for us. No, it became a dream project when you decided to shift from the monk character, supposedly, and decided to make some, jack-off golden calf statue for Floyd Boy. Finally bringing the series to feudal Japan with many features developed with our community in mind. Not so much in mind to where you get the architecture right, the flags right, even your beloved historical figure who, I guess you just want to take that money shot right in the face. Such as parkour or renewed stealth brought by new technology, all set in a beautiful and immersive world. This is an ambitious addition to the franchise, a rich experience that can be lived through the eyes of two unique protagonists. How about we live How about we have that experience to like someone that was like actually, you know, of the norm of that time? Kind of like how you did with all the other games, you know? But we realized we need more time to polish and refine the experience. No, you realized that no one asked, again, for this bastardizing of the franchise by propping up a crackhead. Pushing further some of our key features. As such, we made the decision to postpone the release date to February 14th. The game will release on a broad range of platforms, including Steam at launch. And then we all know about refunds and the expansion and all that stuff. We understand this decision comes as disappointing news, especially those who have been waiting patiently for an Assassin's Creed game inspired by feudal Japan. They're still waiting because you sure as hell aren't providing it. Hell, even Ghost of Yote is getting backlash for it because it's like, where's Jin Sake? Oh, his story has been told. What the hell are you talking about? Like, you barely scratched the surface. You literally are the ghost at the end of the game. But we sincerely believe this is the best interest of the game. No, you don't. And ultimately, your experience as a player. Well, that's a big lie. You don't care about the experience of the player. This is all just made for you guys. Rest assured, we are looking forward to for the moment you will embark on a memorable adventure with Naoe and Yasuke. Until then, we thank you for your ongoing support. He concluded, I would rather play as an NPC, I don't know, sales stall than play as Naoe or Yasuke. You know, I think looking it through their eyes would be closer of experiencing feudal Japan than your stupid stories that you've written for these two unknowns. So now during the company's first half of the, earnings figures conference call, apparently a BMO investor asked Gilmont, on Assassin's Creed Shadows, you guys said you delayed the game. You keep saying it was feature ready, so I'm curious, when you went through and looked back at the game, were you guys finding bugs? Looking back, were you glad you moved it? And I think you talked about an extra $20 million in development costs from doing this. How's that tracking? So he responded, that would be Gilmont. On Shadows, what we had said was that on the back of what we saw with Outlaws, we need to really make sure that we've come with an impeccable player experience. Of course, there are always some bugs, but we've been focusing on continue focusing on making sure that the day one experience will be optimized. Again, they're just ignoring the situation. They're not even asking the reason why Star Wars Outlaws failed. You can chalk it up definitely to bugs and technology and being super unpolished, but let's all agree that the ultimate reason why it failed is because you made a character with that man chin who can apparently has god hands that can just whack Imperial troopers upside the helmet or in the back of the helmet, and not lift up her hands like SpongeBob with all his fingers broken in a bloody bone soup. Next, he confirmed, and yes, you are right. We had mentioned that we would translate into about $20 million in the total budget as we kept a strong level of resources on this last phase of development and polishing. So his confirmation to the delaying of the game and that extra $20 million appears to lend credence that the company is not just doing bug fixes and polishing, but could be making significant changes to the character and the game's story. Tom Henderson at Insider Games claimed that the polishing of the game includes changing some of Yasuke's story and how he's portrayed in the game. Did they change it to where he's just a background character and it's someone like it's the supposedly the original that you had? Did you guys do that? Fixing architectural details and ensuring that the game is historically grounded while fitting into the Assassin's Creed universe. He also added the game is currently not at the stage it needs to be for release. I'm told that there have been some tweaks to some gameplay mechanics and elements that are going to take time to incorporate. So not only did he reveal these changes, but he also shared that Ubisoft was not as dedicated to historical accuracy as multiple developers have claimed. We saw that coming. Historical experts were brought onto the project much later than usual. Yeah, and all of their published work was interesting enough. Only the last 4 years, kind of around the time when Orange Man became president and you guys went all crazy. And then all of this garbage nonsense with, transgenderology and all this bullshit. Were brought on to the project much later than usual for a project of this magnitude, and the miscommunication between teams and cutting corners when it came to the approval process of assets to meet deadlines. Oh, that's what it was. It wasn't the fact that they were all incredibly biased towards a bunch of debauchery. It was the fact that they were cutting corners, just to meet those deadlines on assets. Results in many of the historical and cultural concerns that have been raised by gamers. No, except the one glaring one. Except the one that sticks out like a sore thumb. And I'm not saying that because he's black. I'm saying that because, well, never mind. He also indicated that Ubisoft management has ignored their own developers who have been called for a delay. He said 7 developers working on the project said that they have been pushing for a delay for some time, and their situation had even been heard at the other studios in the company. So here's the video down here. We've read this already in Demion's coverage. How they got rid of that stupid rap song. Because they wanted a hip-hop battle theme because he was black or something. Pretty much being the real racists. As such, all of these people are. Yeah, that's pretty much the bulk of the story. Now they're just padding it about, moving dialogue from the game that, according to my sources, told me that would actually enrage players. Wasn't given concrete examples of what kind of dialogue it was, but probably some socio-political pandering, blah, 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 blah. There you go. So there's your Assassin's Creed update. To be expected. So here's one that's kind of garbage as well. I've seen some people talk about it, coming from Niche Gamer. United Nations Committee criticizes Japanese media may incite violence against women and girls. I'm really tired of hearing this stupid incite violence against insert whatever. It's just... Anyway... It's getting so tired. It's an overused statement. Just like, when they try to label you as a racist and a bigot and stuff, it doesn't mean anything anymore. Well, to them it means something in their weird fantasy headcanon. In actuality, it's lost any meaning. United Nations Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW, has reportedly expressed concerns about Japanese media and the speculated impact it could have on gender and sex-based violence. According to free speech advocate and politician Yamato Taro, the Japanese Cabinet Office Gender Equality Bureau and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed the contents of their meeting with CEDAW. However, nothing further was said about the current state of Japanese media. The Japanese government has been thankfully slow to respond to external pressures when it comes to censorship of Japanese media. Nice. Although the same cannot be said for its corporation, RIP. For the time being, free speech remains enshrined in Japanese law with few exceptions. You can read Taro's post regarding CEDAW's pressure to censor anime and manga below. Will include a translation via Google. So on October 29th, CEDAW published its concluding observation in Japanese Ninth Periodic Report. This was prepared following a face-to-face review of the Ninth Report of the implementation of the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, which was held on the 17th. The final opinion concerns were expressed that pornography, video games, manga, and other animated products may incite violence against women and girls based on gender or sexual orientation. It further recommended effectively implementing existing legal matters and monitoring programs to address the production and distribution of pornography, video games, and animation products that reinforce discriminatory gender stereotypes and reinforce sexual violence against women and girls. Very interested in how they're not defining what these stereotypes are. To them, when they say that, to us normies, it means that a hot woman, women with feminine features, nice boobs, big butts, all that stuff, stuff that men just find sexy because that's the way we're programmed. That's probably what they mean by stereotype. And then sexual violence, I mean, is it out there in the world? Yes, unfortunately, and very sad and disgusting. In pornography, it's, the whole, it's art and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, I wouldn't lose sleep if pornography was banned. In the end, it should be. But anyway, however, the government, the Cabinet Official Gender Equality Bureau, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has confirmed the content of the face-to-face screening, but no questions were asked about manga, anime, and games. Despite not being checked during the face-to-face screening, the company expressed its concerns. This one-sided content denies the freedom of expression in manga, anime, and games and calls for them to be concerned through legal action and surveillance, which is extremely unjust. Yeah, I want to know what the surveillance is probably your stupid, consultation firms that we see over here. We will consider requesting that the sources and grounds be disclosed, as also requesting a retraction if this is not possible. Yamada Taro is well known for her stance against censorship and originally ran on the platform, which emphasizes his desire to protect anime, manga, and other forms of media from government censorship and for foreign pressure. Good job, Yamada Taro-san. Keep doing the Lord's work. I feel like I've seen this anime. Is this the anime where the girl wears panties on her head and does all I remember watching it, and I could, for the life of me, not tell you again what the main story is. The main bad guy had some weird fetish or something. I can't remember. I feel like that's what that is, because they're in a society where I think even censorship or perviness was trying to be monitored and controlled, and she I don't remember. That just goes to show how much of an impact it left on me. Oh, this was more of an uplifting one. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind launches in December. It's kind of like your Shredder's Revenge style retro video game. It looks like we'll come back to this one because we want to end on uplifting notes. This one's kind of funny. Russia fines Google. This is $200 decillion over banned YouTube channels. A Russian court has issued a fine to American tech giant Google to the tune of $200 decillion US. To put that in perspective, the global GDP, is estimated at only $100 trillion US, meaning that Russia is asking for money that exists in the world and probably more money than has ever existed in the world. Following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, YouTube banned pro-military Russian YouTube channels, including Sargrad TV, which is owned by Konstantin Malofeev. Other channels were also caught in the ban wave, and shortly after, YouTube began distancing itself from the Russian market and keeping pace with U.S. sanctions. This includes banning 17 additional Russian news organizations. So in response, Russia seized Google's assets and distributed them to approved television agencies, including Russia's state-owned RT channel. So in the years since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Google and other tech companies have devoted time and resources to combating Russia's cyber criminals and disinformation. In their latest earning reports, Google has claimed that they don't expect any material adverse effect from their ongoing legal troubles with Russia, and it seems like Google will continue to ignore them. At the time of the writing, Google has an estimated $2 trillion in market value, which falls a little bit short of Russia's extravagant demands. Ignoring the whole Russian, Ukraine, and all that stuff, I would absolutely love to see Google have to pay that. It doesn't even have to be from Russia. If it was like from somebody else, like that would be amazing. It's just funny that they're demanding $200 decillion. But there's a fun little tidbit for you. So the internet, also from Niche Gamer, we covered a little bit of Vatican's new anime girl mascot, and apparently the internet is responding. A lot of it, as you probably can assume, Rule 34 of this. It's the internet, you know, it's going to happen. So Luce has taken the internet by storm despite only existing for 2 days, with tons of fan art memes spreading across social media. Luce has clearly achieved her goal of reaching global youth, as Catholics and even some non-believers resonate with the hopeful message that Luce was intended to spread. Spread. I think it's Luce. I want to say Luce or Lucy, but anyway. So, and I'm gonna assume this article is just showing like the tipping of the hat of Luce. So you got one here leading little duckies and chickens, or they might just be ducks, in a raincoat. I don't know why she's wearing a raincoat. Like, I don't know what the purpose of the raincoat is. Is like God promised never to flood the earth again. I mean, the next time it's going to be, fire and brimstone, because that's going to be the purging. So I'm not sure what the whole point with the raincoat is. But you got that. There you go. A lot of people did not believe that was real, but it was. Oh, that's cute. That's a cute little picture. There you go, right there. Iron Lily, who regularly posts art for their OC Christian order, Ordo Mediare. There you go. You got some Japanese artists taking notice, doing some artwork. She's going to slice you up with that blade. Apparently, her walking staff is a hidden katana. Very smart. Jesus said to definitely buy yourself a sword. He did tell the disciples to do that. Of course, the memes write themselves when she literally has the power of God and anime on your side. Of course, we knew someone was going to make that reference. And there you go. Of course, not all is well in the world of Luce. People being upset with the Catholic Church is a tale that spans multiple millennia. Many self-avowed tradcaths consider Luce to be some sort of dynamic dog whistle for Lucifer. I did point that out when I first saw it, where I was like, that is severely close to the word Lucifer. Light bringer, light bearer. While it's true that both names have Italian for light as their root, Lucifer meaning light bringer, see, in Latin, that's where the similarity ends. Other critics are just upset that Lucha is a cute anime girl instead of some imitations of a Renaissance painting. I am kind of glad to see that because, yeah, the trad caths, I mean, I have problems with Catholicism in general, but yeah, these trad caths, your Glenn Beck boomer takes of like video games and your Matt Walsh takes of anime is so retarded. There's nothing wrong with it when you understand like where the origin of stuff can come from. It's when you it's when you let it to become part of a ritual and becoming a worship and stuff like that. That is when you are opening up doors, and you need to be careful. In fact, my buddy Eric has Gary Wayne on tonight over on his show, Angel Legend. And he brings up excellent point. I've had Gary on my show before, working on trying to get him on the show again. No, that the Vatican has fallen. How could they have this evil anime idol enthroned in the Vatican? Nar. So on the topic of the upcoming Catholic Jubilee, the church is also trying to reach out to the youth by canonizing the first gamer saint. Earlier this year, the Vatican announced plans to canonize Carlos Acutis, a young man who has had several miracles attributed to him after his death. See, I remember actually reading this, and this is something to where I actually do disagree with. I'm sorry. Don't be propping this guy up as some sort of idol that can provide miraculous healing power and miracles, because now you're getting into idolatry and whatnot. Any sort of miracles that might have happened should be given to God. See, right there. This is one of the issues I have right there. Not trying to downplay this guy's life that he lived, but yeah, got to be careful with that, especially when you prop them up as idol worshiping. Then it's a huge issue. In life, Acatus donated games to children through the Order of the Friars Minor Capuchin. Well, that's nice of him. But there you go. So moving on to kind of the big one. BioWare allegedly scrambles to remove gameplay footage of Dragon Age Veilguard Virtue Cringe. Dear Lord, this video is garbage. The writing is garbage. No one talks like it. It is absolutely insane. It is retarded. I don't know how many times I can say retarded, but it is. But as we know, propaganda in our entertainment has become a real problem, and it's one of the video game industry is just beginning to suffer under fully. After the events of 2020, many major game companies committed to bringing on consultation companies that were supposed to help them diversify their storytelling, even when that diversifying was already being well handled way back in the day. It's just not their version of diversifying. When they say diversify, they mean bastardize. Instead, games of today, now having been in development often since even before the pandemic, tend to look more like educational courses in divisive ideas than sources of universal entertainment. So still, as much as it has pained us to see the gaming industry damaged by losses such as Concord, Star Wars Outlaws, Dustborn, and more, we've reached a new level of awful with Dragon Age Veilguard. According to a veteran gaming developer, the situation is so bad that BioWare is allegedly attempting to have certain gameplay sequences struck down from the internet. Here it is, folks. Captured footage by Grum's Mark Kern, who happens to have been the project lead on the original World of Warcraft. Dragon Age features a character making a modern-day grammatical foxpass in a fantasy world. As a result of the unintentional phrasing presented as a virtuous error, the leading character makes a point of doing push-ups to atone for their semantic failure. Yeah, when I first saw that, I was like, what the hell does doing push-ups have to do with you misgendering someone? Not only is it retarded, but it is also fucking stupid. The whole thing is remnants of a new age digital penance, but lacking any type of depth and meaningful. The acting in this is lacking also any depth. Just be wary, guys. Bland, uninspiring voice acting does not help. All right, guys, you ready?
Pounding that snake's nose, she's still holding the ruby in her other hand. Maker's panties, I was so proud.
Oh,
Maker's panties, I was so proud. Her other hand. She's still holding the ruby in her other hand.
So she's still holding her.
The ruby in her other hand. Maker's panties, I was so proud.
oh,
So-
shit. They're still holding it. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. And then just weirdly gets up and walks away.
what do you do?
Look at that. You know, they make this such a big deal. Like, think about this. These people make such a big deal when you supposedly misgender them and all that stupid shit.
So proud.
Look at how she reacts.
Oh,
It's like she wasn't even...
shit. They're still holding it. Sorry.
Look at that reaction. Does that look like someone that was super offended that you didn't use her correct pronouns? Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's almost like this person, Tash, or however the fuck it's pronounced, like, she doesn't even believe, like, what she's saying. Because look at that response. Because we've seen these weirdos respond when they get misgendered or whatever. They go ape shit.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and then she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" She was either A, not offended because she knows the truth that she is a woman, or B, she wasn't even listening to the conversation. So why even do the push-ups? All right, so here is the act of atonement, I guess you could say, in terms of saying she, her.
Pulling a barf.
Oh.
Pulling a barf.
Okay. A barf?
A barf?
Lords of Fortune from one of our old members, Barv. Good guy, but like most of us, his plans went sideways a lot. Bad blood among your crew's not good for morale, but there's not always time for big, drawn-out apologies. So when one of us screws up and we know we've screwed up, we do a quick 10 to put it right. Pulling a Barv.
I would replay that again because honestly I wasn't listening because I was so fucking bored and like just dumbfounded that again I'm watching this for the second time because I've seen this elsewhere. Yeah, no one talks like this and no one. This dialogue is terrible. Anyway.
Oh, there we go.
So now you have some actions. Here, maybe I can... Sorry, I'll make it a little bit bigger for you guys if you can
She's
see
still
it.
holding the ruby in her other hand.
Is that like old...
Maker's panties. I was so...
Here, I need to see if this is like big on your guys' end.
Maker's panties. I was so...
Here, I need to see if this is like big on your guys' end. Okay, it is. All right.
Proud.
Oh.
Oh no, we're we're not listening to it again.
Really?
It was a little...
All right. So we're back here.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. I just did a needless, a useless act of repentance. There we go. Maybe we should use it. Self-improvement and exercise. You good, Tosh? More. Where's the options that say, what the fuck was that? That's very open-minded. Why not just apologize? Where's the option like in Baldur's Gate where you can just kill them? That's what I did to the vampire when he snuck into my camp and tried to suck my blood. I stabbed that fucker right in the heart. Didn't look back.
I'm glad the Lords of Fortune have Tarsh's back.
Oh, Tarsh isn't the first non-binary member of the Lords.
Really?
Dude, again, she has no reaction to any of this, which just makes you believe that she, like, it just, not even believe, it gives literally the impression that she does not care, that she literally just got misgendered. Because we know if it was actually based on the weird weirdos out there, they would be going crazy. And she's making it like, huh? What? Who? Lord of, huh? What are you talking about?
It was a little before your time, but Horlicks was one of
A little before your time? How about it didn't exist?
ours. Huh. Bastard looked better than I did in a dress or pants. And out of them, too.
Oh.
Any reason you can't just apologize?
Sometimes people say, oops, sorry, and hope that fixes it. But they just want to get the whole thing over with. Trust me, I know. But pulling a bath, you sweat a little. Makes you think about it a little more. Shows the other person you mean it.
What if they...
I paused, like, dude, her response was great. Let's see it. I did a good pause right there. Dang it. I don't think I could have replicated, but you saw that. It, like, she was like, ugh. Like, she was, like, looking up and away, like, I can't believe I have to be a part of it. Yeah.
What if they
Just,
mean it when
ugh.
they say they're sorry, though?
And that's the other reason. Some people mess up and get all dramatic. They make it about them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's all about them. Yeah.
Mean it right. I'd never do that on purpose. They feel so bad about it that it's on everyone else to smooth
Wow, the delusion and the projection is unreal.
it over and make them feel better.
I think the majority of people, like, who may be put into this experience laugh at it because it's so fucking stupid.
Oh, okay. Yes, some people might do that.
Yes.
Pulling a
Wow,
bath puts
don't-
it on the person who's
Some people. Oh, okay. Yes, some people might do that. Oh,
feel better.
What a one! She just learned something today.
okay,
She was
yes,
so enthused
some
about it.
people might do
Oh, yeah.
Pulling a bath puts it on the person who screwed up. They made the mess, they fix it, done.
What was the mess that the misgendering took place? Not so much of a mess. You see, it's based on reality. This person is not based in reality. In fact, this whole game is not based in reality. So why this is even in here is beyond me. You want to know what's funny? I was kind of like thinking about this earlier today when I saw like other people kind of talking about it and whatnot. You know, for like the people with the mental illness of like, you know, oh, I'm really a woman, I'm just trapped in a man's body, and you know, XYZ, like their ultimate goal is to be like the gender that they think they should be, which would mean that, you know, they would be 100% like unrecognizable if they were a woman, right? That's why they're doing all this surgery, because they're trying to look as much as a woman as possible, you know? Literally, these type of games, video games, are the ultimate way of getting what you want. And it's called, you literally, you know, in your character creation, create the woman. And there you go. That's it. You got what you wanted, you know? But this actually destroys their whole argument, and it showcases that they don't believe in what they're spewing and what they're doing and stuff, because they want you to see the stupid surgery, you know, surgery scars and all that stuff. They want to show that to you. And yet here they are in real life trying desperately to make themselves as much as the, you know, the gender that they think they should be as possible. It's just like literally by doing this, by having this in the video game, you defeat your whole argument. Because the answer that you want has literally been done already. It's called, oh, I'm just going to play as a woman, you know? It's absolutely hilarious. What up, Komanga? I'm a man trapped in a man's body. I know, doesn't that suck? I might have to pull a Barv right now for having for myself for having to watch that scene again. I did it for you guys, by the way. So Dragon Age Veilguard is just one of the many games in a pattern of woeful underperformance as a result of modern, quote, virtue inclusion. And in yeah, again, like I said, like literally games from the past were as inclusive as possible, because you literally could just play as the other sex, you know. They want the stupid pronouns stuff in there. They want it, which sticks out like a sore thumb, you know. But then here they are trying to say, I just want to blend into society, and, you know, people, you know, just acknowledge my existence, which, I mean, guess what? Life doesn't care about you, you know. Majority of people in the world do not care about your perceived vision of yourself or whatever. World hates me, that's for sure. I'm a Christian. It definitely hates me, you know. And it's like, you know, they're trying to say, we're just trying to blend into society to where everything's just normal and stuff. And it's like, okay, well then don't be doing this stuff, you know. Just be the, you know, just create the character that is literally the woman that you think you should be. But the fact they're going out of the way to make sure to let you know that they're, you know, transitioning and stuff like that defeats the whole purpose. In the end, you're just mad that a lot of people aren't going along with your mental illness. Which hopefully, you know, you can get, you know, hopefully that can get, you can get help for that. Good Lord can help you with that, that's for sure. But we all know how they feel about, you know, scripture and stuff like that. Again, the world hates it. Anyway. And unfortunately, it's having a massive impact on an industry, gaming, that is 13 times the size of the film industry, with vast sums of money on the line for each game, as well as development timelines that often take half a decade to complete. We could be looking at another Atari-level collapse in gaming as a result of heavy-handed storytelling aligned with particular niche worldviews. I would even call it heavy-handed storytelling. That is not storytelling at all. That is pandering. That is a PSA announcement. That is regurgitated woke hive mind slop. In fact, John Trent notes that one of the impacts is in full public view. Gamers and general consumers are turning to older content to sedate their needs. Yep. It's not a foreign concept. Most music purchased today is older rather than newer, and likely result of synthetic artists who often do not align with the vast majority of consumers, either in their public personas or lyrical messages. Yep, and that's why they are now targeting your older games, your older, already established franchises, your older music, your older movies, because they want to bastardize it so that for the future generations that they plan on grooming, that they will believe that their version is the origin of where everything came from, when it's not. And the fact that a lot of companies are remaking games for modern audiences tells you that either someone's pulling the strings behind the scenes, or they're embarrassed about the games of what they made, which is fucking stupid. Why? Why would you feel ashamed about the games you made from the past? Don't feel bad about it. Especially if it's sold well, too, you know? It's just like, dude, who gives a care about these weirdos? Think the Gimp from Pulp Fiction, we deserve to feel sorry for him? No. He got killed when he got punched by Butch. He asphyxiated himself. Anyway, but despite what it is likely to be another financial disaster for the gaming industry, the video game reviewer class is quite pleased with Dragon Age Veilguard. Yeah, because they're, well, propaganda at its finest. You shouldn't be surprised. They peddled the other huge losers as well. As was the case in movies for the last decade or so, we're still at the point where many of those who make a living reviewing games are professionally beholden to review them in a way that keeps the access flowing. And thus the pattern keeps marching right along. It's another industry where readers and viewers turning away from the gatekeeping and intelligentsia and following to those they perceive to be truth tellers on social media and on YouTube. The chances of them ever returning are slim. Maybe the journalist needs to consider taking a bar if Dragon Age is ready to teach them how. Well, there you go. So there's your Dragon Age Veilguard. My apologies for showcasing that monstrosity to you guys. I will perform 10 barbs in hopes that you forgive me for my heathen ways. And coming rather close towards the end here, it is official, folks. Firewalk Studios has been shut down. The creator of the wonderful game Concord, which should have made millions as far as I'm concerned, it's not coming back. So in a recent statement, Sony announced that it will be closing Neon Koei and Firewalk Studios, alongside confirming that Concord is permanently gone and will not be coming back in any capacity. Good. The announcement was made in an internal email sent to all employees, but you can find the full context here. We've also included some highlights below. Today, I want to share some important updates from Sony Interactive Entertainment's Studio Business Group. We consistently evaluate our games portfolio and status of our projects to ensure we are meeting near and long-term business priorities. As part of our ongoing efforts to strengthen SIE's studio business, we have had to make a difficult decision relating to two of our studios, Neon Koei and Firewalk Studios. With this refocused approach, Neon Koei will close, and its mobile action game will not be moving forward. I want to express my gratitude to everyone at Neon Koei for their hard work and endless passion to innovate. Regarding Firewalk, as announced in earlier September, certain aspects of Concord were exceptional. I don't know what that means. I think none of it was exceptional, but others did not land with enough players. And as a result, we took the game offline. In 2 weeks, mind you, we have spent considerable time these past few months exploring all our options. How do we make this woke game like woker so that, I feel like someone around there was probably like that stupid to try to like pitch that idea. It's the same. No one bought it because they're racist and bigots and stuff. Sure. After much thought, we have determined that the best path forward is to permanently sunset the game and close the studios. I want to thank all of Firewalk for their craftsmanship, creative spirit, and dedication. Translation: after much thought, we are never, ever again going to think about Firework and that game Concord, and we will just pretend that it never existed, because it pretty much didn't exist because it only lasted for 2 weeks. Komanga, rip Concord. Concord was intended to trailblaze a new Sony IP by tapping into the team hero shooter market that had been dominated by games like Overwatch and Team Fortress 2. However, when it launched, the game saw struggling sales, and as a multiplayer game, its player base was too small to sustain a diverse ecosystem of players, unable to even reach 1,000 players on Steam at its peak. It had invested resources into Concord, that'd be Sony, including animated vintages. The company was even so confident that Concord got placed in Amazon's upcoming gaming anthology series, Secret Level. Oops. Egg on the face for that one. And that Park Place also covered the closing of Firewalk Studios as well. Shut down about a year after it purchased it from Probably Monsters. So again, spent considerable time these past few months exploring all our options, and after much thought, we shut it down. I want to thank all of Firewalk for their craftsmanship, creative spirit, and dedication. Look at that craftsmanship right there. Just look at it. How is that not a bestseller? Holst then added the PvP first-person shooter genre as a competitive space that's continuously evolving, and unfortunately, we did not hit our target with this audience. I wonder why. We will take the lesson learned from Concord. No, you won't. And continue to advance our live service capabilities to deliver future growth in this area. What if we try to do the same thing, except it's a third-person shooter? I know none of this is easy news to hear. I'm actually quite comfortable hearing it, particularly with the colleagues and friends departing SIE. Both decisions were given serious thought, and ultimately we feel they are the right ones to strengthen the organization. Just pretend it never existed. Neon Koi and Firewalk were home to many talented individuals, and we will work to find placement for some of those impacted within our global community of studios where possible. Guy in the blue coat is filled with Concord jelly. This is very true, very true. Holston concluded, I am a big believer in the benefits of embracing creative experimentation and developing new IP. That wasn't creative experimentation. That was literally a woke PSA. You took like that little scene from The Last of Us Part 2 where they make out in the weed house. You literally took that, old school Democrat hippie, public service announcement video, and you just made it an entire game. Of course it's going to fail. However, growing through sustainable financials, especially in a challenging economic environment, is critical. While today is a difficult day, there's much to look forward to in the months ahead of the studio business group and our team. I remain confident that we are building a resilient and capable organization driven by creating unforgettable entertainment experiences for our players, he finished. And as we've read in past articles, confirmed Ryan Ellis took the game offline less than 2 weeks. Shared that the company will be offering full refunds if you purchase the game for PlayStation 5 or on the PS Store, PlayStation Direct. It's going to be issued back on your original payment while the store stops selling physical copies. There's your peak concurrent player of 697 in August and September. And what do you make of PlayStation shutting Concord developer Firewalk Studio down? It's going to happen. Deserve to be shut down. And you can call me cold-blooded for saying that. But, you know, studios got to learn. This shit doesn't sell. No one's asking for it. And when you make a game that is just for yourself, chances are you're not going to resonate with a lot of people. So expect it to fail. It did fail. And now you're reaping what you sowed. And Ubisoft is experiencing that on a grander scale from the backlash, which is unfortunately needed. It was bound to happen to one of these AAA companies. It was Ubisoft. And yeah, and just the fact that people are going back to old school games, the fact that people are in turn playing retro games such as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, showcases that that's what people want. So I love me a good beat 'em up game. So apparently Rita's Rewind is a new retro beat 'em up. It's going to be launching December 10th via Steam, Xbox One, Series XS, Switch, PS4, and PS5, and pre-orders for the game are discounted 15%. So in this game, the team faces off against a robotic reincarnation of the Power Rangers' longtime nemesis. Robo Rita has conquered a portal to send herself back in time so she can finally vanquish the Power Rangers by forming an alliance with her younger self. So those two working together, they have rewound, rewritten, and remixed the past in an attempt to stop the very formation of the Power Rangers, altering the course of history. And then, of course, we know with the monstrous enemies across Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, will they succeed in destroying the Power Rangers, or will these teenagers with attitudes learn to work together and counter this catastrophic chronologically collaboration? Chronologically confused. So you got a classic 90s look, feel with hand-drawn pixel art, fan-favorite enemies, events and episodes that players remind them the show has been remixed, action-packed, 2D brawler, or brawler, I guess you should say, with arcade-style shooting and driving sequences. Nice. Pilot all of the original Dinozords. Jump into the cockpit of the legendary Megazord and take down gigantic bosses. Offline and online support and lots more. 400 million flushed down the shitter. Sony must feel dumb. Yep. And we will go ahead and we will play this trailer.
I'll destroy you all! Are you there, Rangers?
Nice.
Rangers, can you hear me?
Here, I'll make this. Is that showing up on you guys' bigger on the big screen? A little bit. Yeah. Okay, bigger. See, I like this pixel art form. A little indifferent about the animation. Wow, why is that playing? Oh, there we go. I was gonna be like, why is that not looking good? So it definitely gives off like a Shredder's Revenge feel. Even your what's it called? Scott Pilgrim versus Universe. Kind of wish the animation style was a little bit more clean, I guess you could say. But it's good for what it needs to be done. This looks awesome, though. Did you just get run over by a Triceratops? She looks more purple than pink, but sure.
That's enough out of you.
Yeah, boom. Oh, that's cool. Oh, nice. I like that first person fighting. No, Green Ranger. It's just weird that, like, look how clean all that looks, and then you see the pixel art formation. Like, or the pixel art, and then you see that animation, which I hate to say it, like, out of all the art that's in there, the animation to me is the lowest quality I've seen it. But again, I don't know how big this was. It looks awesome, though. I might definitely check it out. But there's an example of hopefully doing a game right. We can only tell. Well, folks, that is all I have for you today. Let us end the stream here by checking out what games came out over the years on this particular day. You got October 30th. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and turn on notifications to get notified when I go live. I was on YouTube, Rumble, and X, and you can always feel free to follow me on X if you so desire. Just humbled and blessed for you guys to take the time to hang out with me as we laugh at awful dialogue and cringe wokeness. So, games that were released today, October 30th. Landstalker, very good game. I have a complete copy of this game. Very good, very difficult. You're like 3/4 symmetrical game that's like on a grid. Kind of hard to get used to. Quite difficult, but I believe I played it, and I think it's up in the past on my YouTube channel, but good game. Got your Jet Set Radio. You got your Mega Man Battle Network, Mega Man Extreme 2, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. I don't know how good the Dungeons & Dragons Eye of the Beholder is, but that came out this time. Ooh, the Simpsons game. There you go. The Witcher. Harvest Moon, Animal Parade. Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. Need for Speed, Most Wanted. Ooh, Zone of the Enders HD Collection. I actually have the PlayStation 2 game of that. I need to play it. Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. And got all these ones, but I don't really care about those. But yeah, we had some solid bangers in there. Very good. Oh, Twisted Metal 2. United States came out. There you go. Rugrats search for Reptar. I just saw Rugrats. Reptar, gotta find that Reptar. Oh gosh, Paperboy came out for the N64. Oh no. Hey, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 2 came out as well in the United States. Look at that. We have a solid game. Oh, Final Fantasy Origins. I have that one. We're working on the Final Fantasy games. Tom and Jerry Tales. I don't know how good it is, but it just made me think of Tom and Jerry Kids. The PSP version of Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories. Come on and see where all the action is. Tom and Jerry Kids. The Tom and Jerry Kids do the show. Kind of like Scooby-Dooby-Doo. So called the coolest pup around, oh Scooby. A pup named Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo. When the ghosts and ghouls attack, Scooby eats a scuba snack. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Jinkies. I feel like we've covered most of it. Or I'm severely skipping through because I was too busy singing a pup named Scooby-Doo theme song. All the more reason why people are going back. Because those things were legit back in the day. Yeah, nothing really else popping out for me. Bubsy the Woolly Strike Back. The PlayStation 4 version. Retro City Rampage DX Collector's Edition. I feel like I'm thinking of River City Rampage. I feel like that's a game I need to play as well. I feel like I would enjoy that. I always try starting it and I always stop. Got your Luigi's Mansion 3, the download release, but that was released all over. Yeah, now we're in the 2020s. Got yeah. There you go. Gosh, Silent Hill 2 Ascension. Alrighty. There you guys go. Again, thank you everyone for hanging out with me. With that being said, let's go ahead and we will wind down the stream. Let's see here. Who can we possibly raid? Let's check out Rumble here. We haven't done a raid on Rumble, no, in a hot minute. Alex Zedra. I like Alex. Trying to get her on the show. She'd be a fun guest. All the more reason that you guys should reach out to her. Be like, you should go on this freak's show. I should reach out. Let's see. /raid. Grab. I wish the raid feature was more fleshed out over on Rumble, but it still works. Alrighty. With that being said, pups, I will catch you guys on the flip side. See ya, Komanga. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, that's it. Take care. God bless. Catch you on the flip side. Peace.